Oh my gosh. Ugh, I did not think I was filming a video today, but I guess I will. My hair is a hot mess, so deal with it. What? Shootings? In Chicago? Isn't that a thing that happens every day? Well, yes. It is quite a frequent occurrence. That's why it's called Murder City and not Happy Sunshine Rainbow City. But what are you gonna do? Everyone else is already talking about the Cleveland shooter and not so much about Chicago. I heard Philly D briefly mention Chicago while covering it, but it's okay. He can do that. You do you, Phil. Anyway, this is my channel, and here I cater to the whims of my audience members who suggested I cover this story. Not because I submit to them, but because I do think it's an issue that needs addressing. I'm from Chicagoland area. I have friends there right now going to school. I have family in the area. Heck, I used to make day trips to perform yearly at Orchestra Hall. Look, there's me. So cute. The city is my layover location if I need to take the train to get home, because the city is like a hop, skip, and a train ride away from my fam. The thing that kind of F's me up about this is that I didn't even know that it was a thing until someone brought it up to me on Minds earlier today. By the way, A+ to the media, once again. I type in news on the Google search machine, and guess what I get? North Korea. The short, annoying kid on the playground that everyone refuses to take seriously. Whatever. Let's do this. Easter weekend, one of Chicago's most violent of the year. And that's not talking about the weekend after the release of The Passion of the Christ, surprisingly.
So y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband.
The Easter holiday was one of the most violent weekends of the year in Chicago, with about half of the 45 victims shot over 6 hours late Saturday to early Sunday, according to data collected by the Tribune. The shootings occurred across the city, from a party at a Lakeview apartment on the north side to down the street from the CTA station on the south side. 2 of the shootings were fatal. The weekend was the most violent in the city since New Year's weekend, when 55 people were shot, 5 of them fatally, according to the Tribune data. Now, I can actually provide an answer as to why the levels escalated as much as they did over the weekend. Now, it's nothing to do with full moon, but you're on the right track, as it does have a correlation with a natural phenomenon, and that has to do with temperature. I went home this weekend to find that it was warm. High of 81, in fact. That's pretty warm. Warm enough to go outside and not get shoved back in by frigid cold gusts of Lake Michigan. So what happens when temperatures get warm? More people go outside and have interactions with each other. The more that happens, the more likely it is that you come across someone you don't like and you find you want to shoot them. That's how it works, right? Yeah, Chicago's like the Wild West. Still, Chicago continues to see a decrease in the number of homicides and shootings compared with last year. How slight we talking? From what to what? At least 915 people have been shot this year, compared with 955 people shot this time last year, according to the data. There have been at least 166 homicides this year, down 5 from 171 this time last year. So for shootings, it's way up there still in the 900s, and the killings only went down to a measly 166.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
I'm so sorry. I'm not poking fun at the fact that people have died. I'm more poking fun at the fact that this kind of thing is the norm in Chicago, and it's business as usual for some reason, and that kind of just makes me want to flip my shit a little bit, because murder shouldn't be a business as usual thing. It should be, oh, how sad. We should take steps to prevent this from happening again. I don't see those steps taking place. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson, citing such incremental declines in gun violence, acknowledged that although his department had made some progress, by no means are we claiming a victory. Yeah, those are some pretty shitty results. You don't get a victory slap on the back for something like that. Like, my kill stats on Call of Duty are like an abysmal 12, and the goal of that game is to kill people. Ask my boyfriend and my brother. They'll tell you I'm a pretty shoddy shot when it comes to gun games. I'm like a stormtrooper. I can't shoot for shit. It's embarrassing, I know. But Chicago PD, the goal is to underperform me in a video game, not outperform me. Come on. I think if we keep running the drill, stay the course, and keep receiving the community input that we're getting now, I think we're in the right direction, Johnson said. Receive community input? I'll give you some community input. You're not gonna like it, though. That's some incredibly unspecific language. What exactly does running the drill entail? And staying the course? I'm pretty sure the goal isn't to incrementally decrease violence, more like exponentially decrease on a dramatic level, you know? One of the fatal shootings during this past week occurred around 2:40 a.m. Monday near the Garfield Reed Line station, police said. A 33-year-old man was arguing with another man on the platform in the 200 block of West Garfield Boulevard when a CTA worker told them to leave, police said. As they walked away from the station, the other man pulled out a handgun and shot the victim in the head and the chest. Authorities previously said the shooting happened at the station. The second fatal shooting occurred around 2:30 a.m. Sunday in the Douglas Park neighborhood on the west side, police said. Taiwan Anderson, 23, was shot in the head and back in the 1300 block of South Fairfield Avenue, half a block away from Mount Sinai Hospital, where he was pronounced dead, according to police. A 19-year-old man was shot in the head and also taken to Mount Sinai. Anderson was among 21 people shot over a 6-hour stretch between 9:20 p.m. Saturday to 3:10 a.m. Sunday, according to police. They included the weekend's youngest victim, a 14-year-old boy who was shot in the right arm in the 1100 block of West 18th Street in the Pilsen neighborhood. Johnson said that the surge in violence this weekend was likely because more people were out. Oh, so we're on this, we're on the same page, but anything else? He said he can staff based on historical data and he can move people around to different areas based on need as well. The important thing is for police to continue to put a dent in the number of shootings. Okay, so let's talk about why violence in Chicago is such a big thing. For one, poverty is a big factor. As we all know, with economic hardship comes looser morals as survival becomes more difficult and people become more desperate, so thus crime will increase. Another reason has to do with the fact that there are not enough police officers in Chicago to handle every situation, so they become overwhelmed, and in an effort to make up for the lack of police proactivity, residents will find it necessary to take up arms in their own defense, leading to the possibility for a greater number of shootings. Certainly it goes without saying, but as everyone knows, a big part of Chicago and its violence problem has to do with gangs and gang culture and trigger-happy gangsters. Certainly these aren't the only reasons, but merely the ones that I could come up with on a whim. They're a start, though. We're slightly down in murders and slightly down on shooting incidents, and we really should focus in on the shooting incidents, because if we get those down, the murders should follow, Johnson said. Well, ideally, yes, you stop the shooting incidents, you stop the murders and the shootings, but have you any idea how to do that? Perhaps it would be prudent to initiate a gun buyback program, no questions asked. Certainly with the poverty levels as they are and the amount of guns, a little extra cash and a little less illegal guns in the hands of citizens would go a long way. Another thing that the PD could do, it could attempt to better improve community relations, especially ones in poor, less trusting neighborhoods, because that's where they can do the most good. Perhaps hiring more police officers overall would improve things. I'm just spouting out suggestions. What about you guys? Do you have any opinions on the matter? Any facts that I left out? Do you have an alternate solution that I didn't bring up? Feel free to voice it in the comments below. And have an awesome day.